Welcome back to Savannah by Nights, our Vampire the Masquerade game here on Knights of Silvermoon. It is, of course, not our only game, as we do have the Age of Innovation on Thursdays, where they are also dealing with the occasional vampire problem. The main difference between the two games at the moment, however, is that all our player characters are vampires and they are antagonizing to themselves. And not one person dissented. That shows the
Is
truth
that a
of it all.
difference?
Eh, eh. Their one vampire is the antagonist to a bunch of player
Okay, got
characters.
it.
So you can tune in to that and see how all of our past mistakes across a campaign or 12 has added up in this current industrious age. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine. We also have twin companies or twin company every few weeks. When's your next one, Martel?
I believe, Graham, it is on the 22nd. That's Twin Companies, our Star Wars game, our Friday Star Wars game here at Knights of Silvermoon. Um, last game was a lot of role playing and a lot of angst. It was lovely. Finally got into the we met Alcura's parents officially. That was a lot of fun. Aaron's introduced a whole bunch of NPCs who were acting very shady for some reason. Sure, there's nothing wrong there. And then we finally got
Shady
into the
NPCs in a game that Aaron runs. Say it ain't
right.
so.
Yeah, exactly. And then we finally got into the Blade Runner part of my character's backstory. So he's just questioning everything.
Hmm. It's all like just tears in the rain. Dreamy, where are you on Tuesdays?
Speaking of questioning everything, you can find me at 7:30 Central on Top Down Tabletop on Tuesdays, not this upcoming week, but the week after. My character just had some real big revelations. She's probably a magical science experiment. None of her parents are probably her parents. It's fine. She's totally gonna handle this maturely and rationally.
So now she's a WMD with an existential crisis. Great. That's good for everyone.
And instead of figuring out our feelings, we got sent into tunnels deep under the city to clear out whatever's been lurking.
I mean, sometimes you got to take your existential dread out on someone else for a minute before you can do anything about it.
Well, you have to go
Exactly.
deeper. That's the thing.
Okay, Leah.
Examine our own psyche as we head underground.
Yeah, you got it.
But unfortunately, we're going to be off for the next 2 weeks due to just summertime break that I think everyone kind of needs, and on some level, I do too. Summer's a lot of work, guys. I think we all just need a little bit of a break. So when we recoup, some of us will do the strange and peculiar and inadvised thing of hanging out on a beach. I don't know what that's all about. I feel like Sam with his complexion maybe should avoid it, but I'm not his mom. But I could be his daddy. You look like you want to say something to that.
I did, and then I changed my mind. It's fine.
No. We commit to our bullshit here.
Share with the class.
I was just gonna be like, I usually get 2 layers of sunscreen slathered on me. So if you want to assist Daddy,
Is one of them a tarp or?
I was going with a moo.
One of them is a huge sun hat that was given to me by Elena's father.
Remember, no one here is a vampire. We're just all from New England. It's fine. All right. And with that delightful little note, let's tell a vampire story, shall we? Last time on Savannah by Night, the Neonates were collectively corralled into the stone cottage at Wormslow, the place they all stayed upon their first arriving in Savannah. The only difference was that, for Ellie, this was a few months in the rear view. There, the prince told them to sit while he tended to the already lit fireplace, while both the seneschal and the sheriff loomed large in the background like the ominous shadows cast by the fire. Prince Brooks brought them up to speed on the storied and highly conjectured nature of the Mudmen, a phenomenon that the county has been experiencing for 50 years. He related to them the various theories behind the creatures: kindred that have lost their humanity, some manner of zombie, or a type of creation sent forth by the Tzimisce, a member of the Sabbat that specializes in the gory art of flesh crafting. And yet, no one theory seems to explain everything. The shifting details, their rarity, their inconvenient inability to be taken alive, and rapidly decomposing on death has made for a wildly inconsistent understanding of them. The Neonates were made an offer. Should they learn anything of merit about the creatures, they would be rewarded for the relevant discoveries. More so if they conjure any solutions, provided, of course, that they don't get in the way of the likes of the sheriff. The new night began with Kate meeting up for a date with a Kine named Barry, someone that she discovered at one of the neighborhood bars several nights prior and hit it off with. Wanting to find out if this was more than simply another prospective member of her herd, she allowed at least some of her typical Ventrue guard down, revealing some of her stresses and anxieties. In other words, allowing herself to be more vulnerable and judging him by his reaction. Perhaps they both enjoyed what they saw, as the date ended with them necking on one another. Ellie, meanwhile, had tried to worm their way into the traffic camera system as a means to potentially track Kate's movements, but they were confronted with the realities of how sparse the network truly is, and how the cameras that do exist are hardly useful. That the true scope of surveillance would likely arise from hijacking various independent cameras from homes and private businesses. Though, this would be... I'm very sorry, folks. This would be extremely intensely involved, tedious, and time-consuming to engage in. Ellie then garnered an audience with their Primogen, Mason, who proceeded to tell them some additional finer points about the Mudmen as it pertains to the Nosferatu and the Warrens. Specifically, he theorized less on what the creatures truly are, and more about what could be precipitating their presence. What unseen element could be potentially bringing them in existence, or sending them fleeing into foreign territory. But before Ellie could ruminate further on these questions, they were whisked away by Alice for a scavenger hunt. The strange yet beautiful hibiscus flower under Poppy's pillow seemingly activated a sense memory within her dreams. The rich, cloying smell of butter and syrup as a pleasant moment from the past overtook her, but, like all good things, gone far too soon. She ran into Nico on her way out of the house, as he was preparing for a plurality of dates. While he did drop a little bit about the Mudmen that was the current trend of conversation, the real headline she walked away with was the realization that the man in Clarice's photos and sketches wasn't just her deceased lover, but the former sheriff of Savannah that, in the grand scheme of a kindred lifetime, was killed fairly recently. Cora awoke to a smattering of texts, some from back home as she enjoyed the rare overlap with Heinrich's sleep and work schedule. Poppy inviting her out with the intent of feeding as a duo on unsuspecting clubgoers. Grace, the whip of Clan Malkavian, directing her to Wormslow as her first and foremost important interaction for the evening. But as she began to head out for that meeting, the underlying hunger brought itself to the forefront of her mind, as though some feral beast pawed and clawed at the inside of her ribs, aching to be fed. A reminder that, No matter what, she would need to sate her hunger, and soon. Artem opted for a more peaceful form of hunting as he coaxed a deer into approaching him with the promise of food. The interaction proved symbiotic as he managed to lure it close enough, fed it, and then fed upon it. But as he was taught, only enough to get by without hurting the animal. His needs dealt with, Artem then went to find Chris, knowing that it's been a rough go the last several nights for her. He promised a bride that should she help him with working on the house that night, he would take her anywhere she would want to go, on top of making sure she would get to meet up with the other gals later in the evening. The nature of the bribe was mundane, but somehow far more terrifying for Artem than being face to face with the Mudman, as Chris could ask if they could set up a movie night at Wormslow, requiring him to call the keeper of Elysium. We pick up with Cora as you're on your way to Wormslow. Are there any very quick stops you make?
Goodness gracious. I didn't expect for you to give me so many options.
Keep in mind you have a very pressing appointment.
I do. Yes. Let's go straight there then.
Okay. Do you try to stop to feed first, or do you go straight there?
Since I'm supposed to have a feeding buddy in Poppy tonight, I think that I will save my appetite for later. I am going to look down at my dash and notice my fuel gauge starting to get lower and lower. Do you know, Mudmen aside, I am going to still need to find a way to earn some money.
As these thoughts begin to creep into your mind, you reach the gates of Wormslow. Julius is present, greets you.
Good evening, Julius.
Ms. Violante, anything to declare?
Nothing tonight.
Takes a look. Very well. Enjoy your evening.
You too.
And he gets the gate moving. And you roll on through, trundle down the pathway as you so often do. For a moment.
Admire the treetops.
For that moment when you are looking at the treetops, like your first night, there is this rolling wave of spring, winter, summer, rapid decay of leaves during fall, the subtle and then powerful gusts of when hurricanes have hit. But like so often, gone in a flash, as if, did it ever really happen at all? And you're already at the parking lot.
I wonder to myself how much of what I'm seeing is my imagination, is something that has been, or perhaps something I've yet to experience. And I get out of the car, lock the door, and head towards the big house.
Despite it being the start of a weekend, there's not a lot of cars. It's not empty by any means, but it's not brimming to capacity like it was your first night. You, of course, go to pass by Bruno. Do you give him a hassle, or you just go through?
Are there any interesting vehicles outside right now?
None that you would probably recognize.
Okay. In that case, I won't hassle Bruno
Specifically,
tonight.
specifically, you do not see a black two-door Ferrari.
Mhm.
You also do not see either of the pickup trucks that you might have come to connect to the prince and the seneschal.
Okay. I will say to myself as I'm passing Bruno, quiet night tonight.
He does not acknowledge that. He just gives you a subtle nod. As you enter in and start walking around, that sparse nature makes it fairly easy for the keeper to realize that someone has entered. As Atherton walks up in his well-cut, very pale linen suit. Ah, Miss Violante, so good to see you.
Mr. Atherton, it's good to see you too.
Is there anything I can help you with?
I'm here to meet Grace tonight, actually. Have you seen her?
Oh, yes, I believe Miss Holloway is upstairs waiting for you.
Fantastic. Before I get to that, do you know, is there any sort of small things that Bruno likes? I feel like I gave him a really hard time for the first week that I was here, and, maybe I could get a little gift for him or something.
Oh, well, that is most considerate. Tell you what, I'll have a think on that, and I'll send you a message if something comes to mind.
Thank you so much.
Well, I'll see you in a little bit then.
Of course, yes. So I hope none of the other guests tonight cause any crazy disruptions.
That would make things certainly less boring, but I do like to keep things orderly.
So you're telling me there's a part of you that is intrigued by the possibility of variety.
My occupation is to keep things civil, yet entertaining. It is a very difficult needle to thread some nights.
Yes, very much so. I'll see you later, Mr. Atherton.
And he strides off confidently. Now the question is, do you proceed apace or do you linger in each little step like you are dreading this?
Um, I've done nothing wrong. So I'm going to, straighten my shoulders. We'll treat it like the old days. Like I'm going to hand a file over to one of the bosses, and just keep it professional. I remember from last time she didn't like my jokes.
You eventually find her in one of the parlor rooms with an open doorway. She's sitting on the couch, her back against the wall, facing the door, legs crossed, as she is wearing this sleeveless capelet suit. Nice little tan. Hands
Very
poised
nice.
on knees. Ah, please have a seat.
Cora looked as if she was about to knock on the threshold, but she goes ahead and heads in, sits down, takes a similar posture.
Now I trust because you're here that you're not injured. All is well. Whoever you were with was fine.
Yes, I was with Artem and Chris, and yeah, we all came out, no scratches on us.
Well, that's a pleasant surprise. So what exactly happened?
Well, talked about this with Leland a little bit, but I've been having a few challenges surrounding hunting. So a bunch of the other new bloods decided that they'd give me a turn showing off each of their styles. I went with Chris and Artem this night to do a little.
The gangrel.
Yes, that's right. To do a little bit of hunting in the wilderness. And unfortunately, the first thing we found wasn't prey.
She does lean forward. Tell me exactly what you saw.
Right. So Artem instructed all of us to sort of get our bearings, as we entered the space, and I looked out into the distance, and there was a cluster of fireflies, and amongst them was a pair of eyes. It seemed to notice me looking at it. I don't know if it became aware of us in that moment, or if it was already knew that we strolled into where it was roaming. I can't say for sure whether it's its territory or not, right? And as soon, though, as there was that recognition, it started charging for us. It was humanoid. It shrieked. It was looked almost as if it was made of the swamp itself.
Ah. The Mudmen.
Yes.
I had a suspicion that's what you were referring to.
I'm surprised you weren't briefed on it, and that I'm having to be the one delivering you the message.
It's not their job to tell me what happens to our neonates. It's for you to come forward on your own.
Good. Well, then I hope that my description is sufficient so far.
I understand the nature of the situation being that the time that it took place, the debriefing, that I wasn't the first call you made.
That's right.
But at least I didn't have to hunt you down. You came to me.
I will say I only made 2 calls that night. I received a third, but there
Who?
was... Okay, so first off, I called the sheriff. That was for all of us. And then a second, as things were sort of starting to settle down, heard from Kate Fulton. I like to consider her a friend, at least I hope. And after that, it was you.
Sheriff was in the correct order. By the time he got to me, however, I should have been higher in that list.
Yes, I understand. I won't make any excuses for it. It's out of my element in that situation.
At least you're not making any excuses. That's where I would have a real problem. So I understand that you are very, very new.
That's right. It's about 7 months.
How's your wallet?
light. I didn't come here with much. Idea was, for me to sort of learn how to do things on my own. So
I won't preclude you from doing other jobs, however. You still owe me.
yes, I have to say, the apartment that you had Lewis find for me, it's very nice. It's good to have my own space. It's in a good place in the city.
It doesn't do to have one of us roaming the streets. So here is, as we discussed, I need you to pick up a few things later in the evening and to bring it to Leland.
Of course, perfect.
I'll have an exact time for you later on. You have some free time between now and then, but regardless of what it is that you are doing at the time, you will drop it and do as you are needed to.
Yes. I remember the terms. Is there anything that I should know about who it is I'm going to be picking up from, or the package
You
themselves?
are just taking a package, not unlike
Okay.
the one you acquired last time.
Perfect.
Although, one thing I wish for you to keep in mind that perhaps escaped you at first. Remember to say grace.
Of course.
Is there anything else?
Oh, actually, yes. Now that you mention it, that dangerous encounter got me thinking that I might need to make sure that I'm prepared to defend myself. I was able to use a road flare, but if I hadn't had the
You do
gangrel
see an
with me,
eyebrow go very high for a moment.
if I hadn't had the gangrel with me, I don't know what the outcome would have been, but it likely wouldn't have been as good. So perhaps Nina could teach me some shooting or something.
There are other things she could teach you. For instance, how capable are you with our clan discipline? Do you even know what it is?
Is that something Essen would have intimated to me?
Yep.
All right. Sure. Doesn't have a very polite name, but it's known by most as dementation.
And can you utilize it?
I haven't seen it manifest in myself yet. It may be there, but no.
It is an inescapable blight, or our greatest merit. Depends how you use it. Depends how much you let it use you.
Well, I suppose if I'm going to be confronted with it sooner or later, having an understanding of how to control it and not the other way around would be useful.
Do you have Nina's number?
No, it
If
doesn't look
not,
like I do.
she will take out her phone and she's going to send you the number as a sent contact. Don't make me arrange the conversation. Set it up yourself.
I can definitely do that.
If you want to win a few points, find her brand.
Okay, drinker, smoker?
I'm going to let you figure that one out.
All right, then. A little bit of sleuthing.
Consider that part of your ongoing education. I have other meetings to attend to. Is there anything else before I leave?
Of course, I don't want to keep you long. These mudmen, there seems to be a lot of mystery surrounding them. Do you have any broad theories?
Probably no more broad than you've already heard. But it is a curious thing when math does not create a pattern. If you map any system, patterns always emerge. Curious that there is none that emerges from this. That is its own concern, is it not?
It is. When she talks about patterns, I think about the red strands and photos and journal entries strewn about Ira's apartment. And I'll say, or his home, rather. He had like a ranch-style home. And do you think it's something that Ira would be perhaps interested in?
You are, of course, assuming he isn't already put to work on it in some capacity.
Maybe it serves giving him another call. I do a visit anyway.
He typically doesn't enjoy unannounced house guests.
I figured as much, yeah.
For a moment, you hear that reverse click-clack of a shotgun behind the doorway, decocking.
I've got a delivery, it's fine.
Now, do you say that out loud in front of Grace? Or is that purely in your head?
I suppose we could have me roll a self-control for it. Or I could just do it.
It's up to you. Do you want the chance of it, or do you want to just have it happen?
I like it. Let's do it. Let's create possibility.
She lifts an eyebrow at that. She studies you. Where were you?
I was at Ira's.
Ah. Does this happen often?
Yes, actually. Initially, when I got here, it was very intense. Then it seems to have settled a little, and now I'm getting little bursts. Usually a few times a day.
I assume you're talking with Leland.
Yes. So we've had at least an appointment a week now, so...
I assume you've been talking to him about your feeding.
That's right.
That's something else you'll be talking to Nina about.
Okay, good. I know it's a bit embarrassing, but...
Embarrassing, not embarrassing is irrelevant. Necessity. Solve it.
Of course. All right. I'll talk to Nina about it.
Good evening, Miss Violante.
Good evening, Miss Holloway.
And with that, she will gracefully get to her feet and glide out.
Stand at the same time.
I think it's a good moment to fade out on that moment. Poppy.
Yes.
As I understand it, you wanted to head to Wormslow for a couple of reasons.
Yes.
One was to simply meet up with Cora eventually. The other was to see who else was milling around.
Mm-hmm. And also something that Artem, or not Artem, Martel reminded me off camera is that I ordered a bunch of stuff online for him. So as she's on her way, she'll check obviously if any of
Mm.
those boxes
Mhm.
have come yet. Um yeah. I know that was only I think
Mm.
2 nights ago that she ordered all of that stuff, but
Where did you get it from?
um
We don't have
I
to say
found
any
them
companies,
IRL.
but
They were on the
okay.
link. I sent you links. I maybe went a little overboard. I think a lot of them were Etsy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they could, be coming from
So if we were to
anywhere.
do this by the scope that we play this game, this won't be here for another 3 years.
Yeah, that's
So
true. So true.
we're gonna go with you had it sent to the shop, not the house.
Great. Okay.
So you could have picked that up. Now you're gonna tell me if everything arrived or just some things.
Let's see. The things that I
But you
ordered.
don't have to do it right now. If you run
Yeah.
into Artem, you can tell him
Okay, great.
what's there.
I mean, none of it was too big or crazy,
Mm.
so I feel like it would be there.
Mm. Things that you can keep stored in the car for a little while and nothing concerning you need to declare as you are passing by Julius.
Mhm.
Now, do you give him a hard time or you're just very smiley and
I'll shoot him a wink and say, "You look very nice tonight, sir."
that actually narrows his eyes just a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Stewart, correct?
Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to declare?
No, I don't really have anything. Except for a really
No.
cute dress. Very excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll show off her like green polka dotted little dress.
So she's trying to sort of do a little twirl, but she's in her car seat.
Yeah, she just kind of like.
He looks to one of the other guys who just sort of gives a wordless shrug. Well, have yourself a good evening, Miss Stewart.
I will. You too. See you soon.
Now, as you get down the road and you find a place to park, of which the parking spaces are wide open, you could park right next to Cora's car that I'm assuming you recognize by this point.
Yeah, she will.
Mm-hmm. There are other cars that maybe look slightly familiar, but you wouldn't necessarily know a face to it.
Got it.
I would say you'd be one of the people who'd be probably cataloging these things in your head just a little bit more than the others.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of being able to put faces to them, you're not really sure.
Got it.
But as you head in, there's Bruno. Do you give him a hassle or you just go?
Oh, I'll say hello. I'll just be like, "Lovely evening, Bruno. Good to see you."
You as well, Miss Stewart.
She'll smile and walk in.
As you are walking about, is there anyone in particular you're looking for? Or other than Cora, of course?
I think she's still trying to shake off the Mudman incident. Mudman,
Mm-hmm.
only one. And has decided, like, on the way, she was like pep talking herself, like, "I'm just gonna treat this as a fresh night. This is, I don't need to worry about this right now. Let's just have a good night out with Cora and then a drag show. Like, it's gonna be fine." It's that kind of like pep talk you give yourself when you are out of your depth. And so she's gonna.
Okay, I had a thought.
Uh-huh.
You're mid pep talk, giving yourself the Piccolo, I can do this, I am great speech.
Yes.
You do see Atherton about to approach. He's opening
Mhm.
his mouth to say hello, and then midway up the stairs of the lobby, you see Lord Laveau, your Primogen. Oh, there's Poppy. Would you be a dear and join me?
Of course. Nice to see you, Atherton. And she'll kind of scurry away gracefully. Gracefully.
She holds the uh, excess of her navy blue gown in one hand as she glides the other hand along the banister, just giving this, well, because it's the Toreador, scads of back, as it is a low-cut back gown. If we were to sort of pan the camera across, Cora's having her whip meeting in one room, as another open parlor brings you in. She remains standing while she directs you to the seating on the couch,
She'll sit.
with her back to the door, closing it behind her. She steps further into the room. Tell me what happened.
Well, I mean, maybe luckily I wasn't there. It sounded pretty terrifying. But it sounds like a couple of the other neonates were out hunting somewhere in a park, and one of them saw some glowing eyes in the middle of fireflies, and some creature made of mud, but not really, attacked them, and they got away. But they did slice off its arm, which did in turn turn into some sort of gelatinous goo, which I unfortunately saw and smelled. Um, yeah,
In the
I
presence of who else?
well, they called the sheriff first, so it was Sheriff Vega and the prince and or are you talking about the park?
Who were you in the presence of last night?
Ah, yes. Cora Violante, Kate Fulton, Artem, Ellie, and Chris, uh, and then the prince and Vega, and some of the princess workers that I have not had the pleasure of getting their names.
You should have called me. You should have called Madison.
I'm so sorry. I wasn't there, so I didn't really know what the protocol would be.
I should
Being
know when one of mine are being pulled into a meeting with the prince, the seneschal, the sheriff.
okay.
I should be
Thank you.
finding that out from you.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. I'd never been in that kind of situation.
What situations have you been in?
Nothing that would require that kind of I don't know, interrogation. That's not my style.
The smile does not reach her eyes. Did your sire not prepare you for court?
Poppy takes a moment because in some ways, yes, in most ways, no. Um,
Hmm.
she says, sort of,
Meaning what?
meaning that I served a very specific role for him.
And what role was that?
Um, arm candy, ma'am.
Ah, finally at the truth of it. So you were unprepared for how things are supposed to work. Who
I
to
suppose.
call, when and where, and why. We're
He
not as structured as the Ventru or the Tremere, but gardens thrive when properly tended and pruned. You already have a hard time being a poppy lost among the thorns in the rose garden. So what are your next plans?
for this evening?
She stares at you unblinking.
I was going to help a fellow neonate who's having some troubles with learning how to feed and how to take care of themselves. Since I didn't get much tutelage, I would like to share what I do know, ma'am.
And are you a liability when it comes to feeding?
No.
I hope not. Is there anything else you wish to bring to my attention that I should already know about?
Not that I know of. But again, in the future, I will give you a call in Madison.
Yes, you will.
These mudmen, have you ever been in the presence of one?
No. Their presence has been too scattershot, indistinct, and they tend to be more at the fringes of the county. Not in... well, they don't make it as far as the garden.
Right, right. It's very curious.
If you're smart, you won't go too far beyond the curated walls. Let the others deal with it.
That sounds like a pretty good plan for me.
Grow beyond being arm candy before go tangle with the beasts that lurk beyond.
I will.
Good evening. And she gracefully slinks out of the room with just a little more authoritative sway.
Pep Talk Part 2 begins. And Poppy just kind of sticks her fingernails into her palms. And it's like, Penelope, get your shit together.
So just a quick thing out of character.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't prepared for that scene at all, I'm imagining. Are you okay? Are we all
No.
good?
Yeah. No, it makes so much sense.
Mm.
So much sense. Because Poppy is not prepared for that kind of thing. She was so nomadic. Like, she doesn't know what it is to be in one place in a court. So yeah, this is very cool.
Okay.
Oh,
So
she's so scary.
Is it okay if we fade out on that a little bit?
Of course.
Okay. We will presume that you two began to walk through Elysium. You will meet into each other eventually, but I just want to check in with one of our other players first. Speaking of which, Kate, between Whips and Primogen, your schedule isn't that much different tonight. The only real difference is where you're going to engage in that interaction. You were told to head to the Weston Savannah on Hutchinson Island, which isn't that different from where you would be going when you are working at uh, Veritas. Before you head there, before I get into the narration for this, is there anything else you want to take care of very quickly before you head there? Do you get changed differently? Do you?
Yes. So in this is gonna be a night of swapping different pieces and making different pieces work for different events. So between Barry at Starland Yard and going to the Weston, Kate will swap. She's gonna keep the linen pants on, swap the top for a black silk button up and the boots for her heels.
Mhm. Okay. But no other errands on the way? Just
Nope, I am
okay.
fed. I have an appointment to make.
Okay. As you once again cross over the clean, crisp design of the Talmadge Memorial Bridge. Oop, did I lose somebody there?
We actually gained somebody.
New NPC.
Hold on, I have to go get a Ninja Turtle Band-Aid.
Okay. We're
It's
just
very
gonna
important.
we're gonna rewind a minute. We're gonna go back to Worm's Low for just a second. As you two are stepping out of your respective meetings, one perhaps a little more head held high, the other one maybe not so much, but still bright and vibrant in terms of the polka dot dress that she is wearing. You do see each other in the upper portion of Elysium.
Hello.
Puppy.
Are you still down to go out?
I'm absolutely. Are you? Is everything okay?
I require it greatly now. I'll tell you about it on the way.
Okay, sounds great.
We're going to have a great time. We're going to salvage this night.
Oh
Uh
no, is
it's fine. I'm good. Check out the boots. Aren't they fun? And she like
okay.
shows off her like big black platform boots.
I was gonna say you're dressed to kill as always. It's fantastic.
Thank you. Well, we won't be killing. Just a little sip sip. Okay,
Right, of
great. I'm
course.
so glad. I'm so glad you're still down. I was so hoping you would be.
Yeah. Oh, I do have a little something that may come up later. So we can ride together, but I may have to take the car.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fine.
suddenly, if that's okay.
Suddenly.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Are you
Just
on call?
I am. I'm a courier.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Okay, that's totally fine. I won't be offended.
Okay. Fantastic.
Okay. And as you two head out, we can fade out on, I'm assuming, getting into one car. Okay. I'm assuming that's going to be Cora since courier.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. We fade back in on another drive. Take two. As you once again cross over the clean, crisp design of the Talmadge Memorial Bridge, you can already see your destination on the right, as the Westin Hotel is the tallest, most well-lit structure on the entirety of Hutchinson Island. Though as you reach the junction, it requires you to make the choice of continuing on to South Carolina or taking the off-ramp onto the Harbor Parkway. You spot several pinpricks of controlled flame in the brush. The text from Redgrave had directed you, assuming you're not going to stop for that, you're just going to catalog it and go on by?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The text from Redgrave had directed you to a reserved space in the adjoining parking structure. When you finally make your way to the lobby, you are greeted by the warm tones of sands and suedes awash among tasteful yet elegant pillar, panel, and crown molding. When you present yourself at the front desk and give your name as was directed, you are given a key card and pleasantly directed to a private elevator that exclusively goes to the penthouse. When you arrive at the top, you are greeted by the clean yet plush aesthetic of gray-white and pale sandy golds with floor-to-high ceiling windows overlooking the river and the cityscape of Savannah proper. Elizabeth Redgrave click-clacks across wood panel flooring as she enters your review in a black skirt suit, expertly tailored, crimped in at the hips. Please, Miss Fulton, have a seat.
Before we begin, I do need to let you know that I was pulled into the aftermath of a situation last night.
Well, we'll talk about that, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
She directs you into the couch with the cityscape behind your back, framing you in perfect, well-lit relief for her, as you can see the elevator behind her, a reminder of that whatever escape there is, you have to go through her first. So, tell me about the situation.
How free are we to speak up here?
Expressly.
I was pulled into a meeting with Prince Brooks, Mr. Burles, Sheriff Vega. A few of the other Neonates ran into one of the mudmen last night. We were briefed of the situation and what lies in the swamps on occasion.
Were you involved in the situation or merely briefed?
Merely briefed.
What precipitated you being briefed?
Communication that evening with Artem, Chris, and Cora.
So they were the parties that encountered it, and they were communicating to you?
Mm-hmm.
What was communicated?
No details were shared over the phone.
What was shared?
I remember specifically. They'd had an interesting evening, that they were headed back to the big house. I'm assuming that we were communicated with was shared to Mr. Burles because he pulled myself. I don't remember Poppy's last name. And Ellie.
Stewart.
That's right. We just said it. Miss Stewart and Ellie to the stone cottage with the other three.
Which one is Ellie?
The Nosferatu. Not the one that arrived the same evening as me, but the one who's been around.
Ah, I see. What did you learn?
Information about the Mudmen, the irregularity of all of the situation. The lure of prizes should information be found. Some seemed more interested than others.
The familiar carrot.
Mm-hmm.
Were you tempted?
Not particularly, just by sheer unpredictability of laying a trap for a target you don't know if it'll come tomorrow or 3 years from now.
That has been the underlying problem with it. Hard to plan for something that is so, by its nature, erratic.
Exactly. You can deal in theories and hypotheticals all you want, but it's hard to make plans without any kind of consistency.
Do you plan to pursue this at all, or?
Not at the moment. The last one was seen 3 years ago, so seeing one now, at least to me, tends to put the next likely situation quite a bit of time from now.
Well, that's where the irregularity and erratic quality comes in. There could be another one next week, a cluster next month, and then nothing for 5. But enough of the local lore. That's not what you're here for tonight, is it?
No.
I do have some questions for you, and that I need to understand about you if you're going to work more directly for me. Nominally, all Neonates of Clan Ventru work for myself and, naturally, expressly, Mr. Halsey.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, the Prince himself. But we do have a chain of command. While you are expected to acquiesce to our directives, it's different when you want to be directly in my employ. However, this is provisional. You may wish to find your fortune somewhere else amongst our ranks. I understand you've already been through a few of us.
Mm-hmm.
How did that go?
Educational, if not where I wanted to land.
What was missing?
The lure of power with Lash was intriguing, though I know I didn't see half of what she really gets up to. Innsbruck was difficult, though there was a strange beauty in the service he provides.
I see you caught him on a good night then.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
You understand that the nature of hotels, you will still have to be in contact with him from time to time. More people die in hotels than most would realize.
Mm-hmm.
He and services like him provide a certain discreet way of tamping down on the nastiness of it all. Working for me, you still will see unfortunate tragedies. You will be required to deal with them in one way or another,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's simply the act of making a call and walking away. You may have to massage.
In that case, I think it's good that I've seen his reality first.
Good. You will, of course, have to occasionally massage the reality for people who maybe have seen things. Not even anything beyond the mundane, but we don't need the hysterics.
Sorry, Graham, I missed the beginning. My internet crapped out for a second.
Oh. You will, of course, need to massage the details on occasion, not because there's anything breaching the masquerade, but we don't want the hysterics. We like to keep things calm.
Of course. I'm confident in guiding a situation, both with regular means and in clan discipline.
So I have a series of questions for you more directly. What was the worst thing you ever had to do as a mortal fixer in politics?
You should have sent me these questions early. Covering up more than one drug habit, an affair, which isn't really all that awful, but more commonplace in DC than not.
The art of saving face, your own or someone else's, is inescapable in what we do. How did you go about hiding it?
Greasing the right palms, knowing who to call in the right moments, having a story, the right distraction, the right story at the right time. Phone conversations disappearing, people being reassigned to jobs.
Any threats?
Once or twice.
Any of them that were not threats and simply promises that you followed through on? I see. How stained are your hands?
Oh, gosh. As unclean as any in DC. Nobody there is unstained.
What was the worst thing you ever had to do while working for Vesper?
With
Normally, out of character, I want to say
Uh-huh.
this. Normally, I would send questions like this out of character ahead of time so you can think about it. The point was to put you
Just keep
on
me
the
off.
spot.
I had not yet been given enough power to make those kinds of decisions or have those opportunities. It was a lot of standing back and learning from those with more experience.
Good answer.
Was witnessing the necessary choices of those who had more power, more years under their belts. A chance to learn that choices are never easy. You have to live with whatever you make.
What's the worst thing you're willing to do?
I'm willing to do what it takes to protect the clan and the masquerade.
Mortal finds out the truth. You have 6 options. You could do nothing and hope that that never gets back to you. You could lie, gaslight, play with them until they do not know reality from truth. You could use your capacity for dominate, assuming you are sufficiently capable. You could ghoul, blood bond, embrace. Do you know what the 7th one is?
Would Kate know? I want to say like murder. Is that right?
There you go.
Okay. It's death.
Are you capable of doing that?
It would be the first, but I think so. No, I know so.
We may have to test that resolve. Have you used your disciplines yet to protect the masquerade? Out of character, probably not.
Okay, I was going to say we haven't played out that, but the opportunity hasn't yet presented itself.
One more question. What's the worst mistake you've ever made since your embrace? How did you correct it? Did you correct it? I have to not look at those cameras for a second.
This is me speaking above table. If we go with what you and I covered in...
You can make something up if you would like.
Okay.
Something that works for the moment.
Yeah.
You could go with that. I just want to
I think
give
I'm
you
going to
some latitude.
stick with that because just
Okay.
she wasn't out of his sight a whole lot except for to feed. I don't think. Went hunting in the wrong territory. Admitted my mistake to my sire. Was able to turn the opportunity around with a deal to a Toreador with an interest in gaining information.
And did Vesper know that you had ever made this deal?
Yes. He suggested it.
Did you make use of it?
I did.
Did it yield results?
It did. The Toreador got information he thought was worth getting. It wasn't necessarily as much as he thought he was getting. And we weren't beholden to him.
Mistakes will happen due to the sheer nature of your age. However, they are much less tolerated in our clan. If you can find ways to spin it, good. If you can't, you need to tell myself or Halsey. The more you drag your heels, more you try to hide it, the worse it will get. Both for you and for correcting it. Is that understood?
Understood.
Good. So if you want to work for me, I have a directive for you to cut your teeth on. She will stand and bid you not up to the cityscape window, but to the window on a different wall that overlooks the bridge as it heads into South Carolina. And you can see those little tiny pinpricks of light that from here you wouldn't realize were there without knowing that they already were. So slight, so small, so faint that they could also merely be mistaken for little caustic glints in the glass from the other lights in the room. What do you know about that?
That firelight. I saw it on the drive-in. But otherwise, I don't know.
We have many ways of being aware of when someone is heading into town. We have those in the ports. We have those who have people in the airport, train station. We have the likes of Maplethorpe scouring the marshes. Halsey and Veritas has eyes and ears all over town. With the hospitality industry, we have even more. That is an anomaly we allow, that we tolerate. A bit of a deterrence for those who get a bit unruly. It's a little brouhaha coterie that likes to hang around there. Sometimes they like to wander down here when they're getting a bit bored. They always get sent away. Sometimes I send Rook or one of my other attachés to remind them of the parameters of our relationship. We tolerate them because they help keep out other riffraff. I want you to go and assert your presence.
Get to know them and remind them of this particular relationship.
I wish for you to interpret that as you will.
All right.
Any questions?
No, but I'm sure there'll be some follow-ups after.
I would hope so. I'll be waiting, Miss Fulton.
Certainly, Miss Redgrave.
Now, I don't know if you're capable of it, but try not to kill them.
Well, I have been at Veritas for a week. I was assigned a firearm. But I'll do my best.
I'll leave it at your discretion. Can we fade out on you heading down the elevator?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
These scenes. Oh, I love them.
Y'all, we're young.
Just nothing but childrens.
We're babies. Just little babies.
That's not what we talked about, Graham. Keeping me on my toes.
Something you need to understand about the storyteller.
You do what you
He
want.
lies. Ellie. Last we saw you, you were being emotionally terrorized by a prepubescent immortal Nosferatu.
Yeah, you three thought you had the scariest scene ever. Yes, Alice is currently leading me in the direction that she wants to go for salvaging.
Mm-hmm. Alice begins to lead Ellie through the many myriad tunnels and passageways until they are no longer within the direct confines of the Warrens. But as you begin to ascend up a ladder, you realize this is the tucked away little garage where you last parked your work in progress van. As the cover is removed, that gap in the sheetrock that separates the underworld from the garage. She very chipperly gets to her feet.
So, I guess I got a couple questions here. Are you wanting me to drive you?
Drive us.
That was, yep. Do you know how to change your face?
She's going to do that little kid thing where like they sort of hold one wrist behind their back as they kind of like meander, wobble. They go behind the side of the van, looking like they always do, and then step back out, and the hood is down. Much as the features are similar, and you get a window into what she would have looked like prior to the embrace. All the pockmarks and blemishes hidden away. And you just see maybe a 7 or 8 year old girl who's just up way past her bedtime.
Okay, so this is gonna be a little easier then.
Can you do it?
Um, Ellie will try to remember like we'll try to remember what kind of features they kind of looked like when they had just dropped out of high school, and will kind of like about 18, and will look like that in front of Alice.
And it's that weird cognitive dissonance that you're trying to think like normal proportioned hands, but you know the image doesn't match the truth. So it's almost like you'd be glitching on the steering wheel in some way in someone's head. They'd be trying to constantly make sense of that.
So salvage.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
What were you wanting to salvage? What are you looking for?
Anything? Have you not been to it before?
I am guessing not, Alice. Where is it?
Um,
Great. I'll get in the car. I'll start driving, and you point me to where it is.
Okay. And she hops in way too chipperly. There's a little bit of a bounce in the seat, and she's like trying to fumble with the radio. But actually, that's the question. Has Ellie gotten around to fixing the radio, or is it just this ripped out mass of wires?
It's a ripped out mass of wires at this point, and this is really
She's playing with the
me.
wires.
Good, great. Don't do. Keep playing with the wires, and you're going in the back seat.
I'd like to see you try. She's just sort of bouncing.
Okay.
Ellie thinks about whether maybe if of all things that are gonna get Ellie pulled over, it's gonna be have a 7-year-old child in the front seat. But we'll see.
Playing with wires.
Playing with wires. So Ellie's gonna get the car out and start driving in the direction that Alice gives them.
At first, you're not hitting in a direction as much as circles. You start meandering a little bit northwest, but it takes you a while to start even realizing that that's a direction you're heading in. But eventually, she does get you on a road and doesn't fuck with you as much. You assume. She's sort of just humming to herself, kind of kicking her legs out a little bit, looking out the window.
Do you go on these trips often?
I can't drive.
Do you go with other people?
Yeah. Sometimes Lila takes me, sometimes Spitz. Sometimes Baxter.
What made you think of me? Was I option number 6 once no one else was available?
I haven't gotten to be in the van yet.
Well, it'll look a lot better and not as much of a fire hazard when I've gotten some work done on it.
Is there any like carpeting, or is it just like the running boards in the back kind of thing?
I don't think Ellie's quite gotten to like really doing anything. So it's like if there is carpeting, it's like really basic, just don't look like it's the underbelly of a car type thing.
But it's still just this recovering rusted out wreck.
Yes.
Okay. I've seen worse. It can get better. Maybe we could find paint cans.
We certainly could. Is there a color you're looking for?
Pink.
I somehow really suspected that already. Do you just look for anything where we're going?
Yeah, sometimes I have ideas, but I find things.
Art projects?
Only when I want to mess with someone.
Valid. Any projects for anyone else?
That would be telling.
That's true. That would be telling.
But I find things that we need in the Warrens. We all do it. I just like to do it all the time.
It's good to have a passion.
She just sort of shrugs. And she's playing with the like the drawstrings on her hoodie.
When you get out, do you is it usually just for these runs, or do you just get out?
What do you mean? This way.
And Ellie
No, that way. Imagine the van just sort of like wobbles in place as it's trying not to just go full ass over tea kettle for a second. And she just giggled.
Mm.
So, as you get there, you know that you're not going to be able to park inside. You are going to have to park a little bit out of the way and walk up to it. You're not in the countryside, but you're not in the city proper. It's a lot more sparse. Roads are quiet at this time of night. You're able to kind of pull off the road and kind of hide it behind a tree or two. But the rest is on foot. Do you follow along as she just animatedly hops out?
Ellie closes the door, locks the car. Goes, all right, lead the way.
What you see is a mess of wire fence, corrugated metal, chain link, and then chains and padlocks. You don't see any sophisticated button locks or anything to hack. Lights are either dim or completely off because no one's expected to be here. But if you want to do any checks for anything that is related to surveillance, or if you have an idea of how you'd like to get in, go ahead.
I will go around. I will just do a preliminary check for cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I don't see any cameras, I'll go ahead and like get out some lockpicks and just try to do a little just get one of the padlocks.
You do see the facade of cameras. You know where to look for that sort of thing, but you can tell they're either off or broken. Either they're just sort of stick on in order to deter would-be thieves, or they've been broken for a while. And considering Alice seems to suggest that she comes here semi-often, she either knows about it or she's the one that broke it.
As Ellie is like preparing to pick the lock, they'll just turn and go, if you come here so often, you don't happen to have the key, do you?
Kinda. I want to see what you do.
I will go and pick the lock.
Okay. We're going to put this at a 5 because it's just a padlock.
Dex and
Dex and larceny.
Larceny, great.
Don't botch in front of the infant.
Why did you say anything? I didn't botch, but I had 2 successes that were immediately removed by 2 1s. So it's a fail.
Okay.
Graham.
So you struggle for a moment and it goes nowhere. Either you've been put off by the fact that Alice exists.
True.
Or maybe you're not as good as you thought you were. Or something else entirely is at play. Maybe it's just not a lock that you are familiar with. Now, you can do this one of 2 ways. You can either try again at a higher difficulty, or you can go with an alternative method.
I'll try again at a higher difficulty.
Okay. She is sort of leaning over, looking at you, looking at what you're doing, and way too close to your personal space.
Good. Love that.
I don't think that's right.
3 successes.
Perhaps you are spurred on by sheer elemental frustration and probably wanting to tell this kid to jump off a cliff while presumably holding a large boulder.
I'm like Nynaeve. My power is completely fueled by rage.
Mm. Okay, calm down,
And
Good
Vegeta.
reference. Good reference.
Thank you. Thank you.
As you finally just pop this lock, like, see, I know you could do it.
Thanks. Shall we?
And she'll push one side open as I'm assuming you're pushing over the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The vast, indistinct swaths of twisted metal, mottled and ruined plastic, and personal detritus is stacked high and far and wide. You heard of the many hurricanes that have graced Savannah, the sheer violence wrought upon both landscape and real, very fragile lives. Eventually, when all is swept up out of view, it all naturally has to end up somewhere. What hidden gems could a determined person find here? Or is it only a ramshackle monument to recurring heartbreak and the hubris of continuing to build where the storms land? Where would you like to venture through this? What would you like to do? What would you like to find or try?
I think based on
This is a playground of potential options. I know that you were looking for things for the car. I know you were looking for just random bits and bobs of technology that maybe you could reclaim and repurpose.
I would say given the fact that Ellie starts to realize like we're in a scrapyard, this might be a good opportunity to start cobbling some stuff. Well, could be cobbling some stuff together for the car. The other thing could be getting looking for some like old receivers that can be repurposed, which kind of by itself kind of goes with the car, like something that
So
can
like
be
or
used
rip
to
apart like an old ham radio or
yeah,
maybe
the
like
type of
a
thing that can
broken
intercept
police
signals.
scanner.
Yeah, so that I can like start interrupting or listening in on different types of like radio signals.
Okay. How about you roll? Let's see. How about you roll either perception or intelligence with technology? Because the idea is you're trying to recycle something. You're trying to see something that's broken that maybe you can fix. So I'm going to go with intelligence for this.
Great.
I think is better. And then technology. We're going to put this at a 7 because this is with the added difficulty of trying to uncover it or see it from more than what it presently is.
Yeah.
That's a fun roll. I don't think I've ever had anyone roll that before.
That is 3 successes.
Okay. I'd say you're able to find something resembling a police scanner of some sort that is definitely missing pieces, but things that you can fix or combine with stuff you already have. Or a few errant pieces that you do find lying around that you could substitute. You're finding more, well, e-waste than maybe you were expecting in this place. The gold and indium circuitry that is more rare than people realize that you could repurpose. That was interesting. So you could find a use for that. What other things would make sense for you that you're trying to look that I'll give you based on that roll? Nothing too crazy, but either things for the van or things for your own tech setup at home. And if it helps, we could pause on that list and we could revisit it off screen if it would make things easier for you.
Let me see. Hold on, I just want to check something on this end.
I could give you some options.
Slap a cold air intake in that puppy.
I know
Well,
one of the things you want to do is surveillance. So what you could do is repurpose someone's forgotten satellite dish receiver to adjust how you use it.
Sorry, it was not a story thing. It was a tech thing. I
Oh.
was checking in on. I'm thinking about something that yeah. So the police scanner was kind of the surveillance element I was aiming for on that front. The other thing, because what I'm trying to think of is if I want to go immediately for like some of the trap stuff I was thinking of for Mudmen, but I don't think I've thought that far ahead. But the other thing I could think of is something that I can actually use to make more portable something that can be used. The basic thing I'm going for is something that can be used if I carry around with me, that if I see like a surprise camera that I can use as like as my usual option is throw a rock at it or find some way to cover it up.
Okay.
But if there's some way, like
I have an
almost
option
like
for
something
that.
that could be like an EMP style thing, like miniature,
So
just cut the
it's funny
circuitry.
because we've talked about this before where the character that you loosely took inspiration from had an
Yes.
issue where being a hacker has taught you to forget what it's like to have physical access to the device.
Yes.
You don't have to do fancy coding and EM bursts. You have a hammer and the case is right there.
Yeah.
So an easy way to block out a surveillance camera, spray paint. And there are plenty of cans lying around. It doesn't have to be ultra clever. It just has to be functional.
Do you know what I'm also going to look for, Graham? In that case, I'm going to look for some sort of like scarf or something I can use as like almost a face covering.
Okay.
Of some sort.
Oh, yeah. It's not necessarily going to be intact.
Yeah.
Maybe missing some pieces, but you can find fabric randomly in places. Maybe things that were part of a shirt, a bath towel, or shreds of a coat. Maybe even the uncomfortable implications of ripped up shower curtain.
I think I will go ahead and get some sort of ripped up piece of wool or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, easily done. While you're scrounging around, you see Alice is putting random things into a backpack she did not bring.
Good start.
Mm-hmm. She's pushing around a shopping cart that is missing a wheel.
Great.
But having no trouble. It doesn't seem to be dragging. She's just keeping it aloft, and she seems to be sing-songing to herself, like to keep in line with the wobble. It's like there's like matching that sort of cadence. But as she wheels on up to you, did you find something?
I did. Found a couple things. Looks like you're having a productive evening.
Yeah, I don't know what any of this is, but I think someone could use it.
Mind if I take a look? I'll show you what I've got.
Okay. You first.
Yeah, I figured. So Ellie's gonna go ahead and show a little bit of what they've scrounged together.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna let Alice look at the jammer
Mm-hmm.
and the other important electronic things, and we'll let Alice hold the spray cans.
Oh, I see. So you're trying to keep her distracted, be like, I have the things.
Look at these spray cans that you can like spray with while keeping the really delicate things.
She looks at it, but she's kind of a little incomprehending of it. But when she's looking at the spray cans, goes, this isn't enough for the van, but we could start.
That's true.
She starts throwing them, and there's actual another paint can in the cart that you know isn't full. And it's for a color that's like, I don't know how to explain this. It's like if seafoam green could go bad.
It's one of those things where Ellie is really trying to balance the like, how do I like gratify the desires of this child and also have a inconspicuous van that is not painted like the rainbow.
But in terms of what she has in the cart, it's kind of a random assortment of things. Some of them are like cable box receivers and universal remotes that have nothing to do with each other, but clearly some of that infrared point and click kind of stuff that still has its uses. Random spools of like soldering wire that has seen better days. It's just a lot of like random crap. Some of it's even just like plastic siding. And in where typically you would have a kid sitting in a shopping cart, which if you're healthy, you don't do. for so many reasons. There is a teddy bear that has seen better days, a clipped ear. There is a slash in one of the arms that where some of the stuffing is starting to come out. It looks not entirely waterlogged, but it doesn't look dry.
Looks like you got a good haul. A lot of this will be really useful.
Mm-hmm. Ready to go.
Ready to go. We can't put the whole cart in the van.
It's okay. I'll toss it back over the fence.
Great.
It's broken anyways.
As they're like packing stuff into the car, they'll start packing things, and if Alice doesn't already, Ellie will take the teddy bear and will bring it around with them to the front seat. And then if Alice comes to the front seat as well after throwing the cart over the fence.
That was not a boast. She effortlessly throws it over the fence. Like it's just the smallest. Yeah. It's like the small, it's like a flimsy little frisbee for her. It goes right over.
Here, I figured wanna hold it as you're going.
And she kind of lights up. She gives it a hug as she sits in the front seat. She's doing the kicky feet. Mumbling some slightly atonal way that the kids kind of sing when they're that young. Nothing that you recognize.
So, are you gonna give it a name?
I don't know yet.
Well, certainly got time to find one.
Oh, wait. One more stop?
Sure. Where'd you want to go?
I don't get to go to Wormslow often.
Well, I guess tonight's your lucky night then.
She kind of bounces in the seat a little bit as this tiny little girl holding a teddy bear that just yeeted a shopping cart with no effort has commandeered you into her personal driver.
Ellie drives the small child to Wormslow.
And I think on that little horrifying note, we can take a small break. See you all in a little bit, folks. Welcome back to the second half of Savannah by Night. We were just catching up with some of our neonates as they were meeting up with their various superiors and the differing attitudes in between. I suppose in some way we could call Alice a superior to Ellie, but more in the case of she just terrifies the hell out of them. I dare you to call that a lie. That's what I thought. We pick up with Artem. Last we saw him, he was coaxing Chris into doing a bit of housework with him, and by that I mean renovating the house. You're not going to be able to really collect on the spokes for the banister as they're only halfway complete, but you at least know that that is getting done. You have progress. You even have a bit of an ETA. It's just a few more days at most. You could work on the stairs themselves. You could do all the recutting of any boards that you need, sanding, a bit of finishing.
Yeah, let's go ahead and work on the stairs.
Okay. I'm not going to have you roll for that in any sense because it's more just the time that you're putting into it. You're able to give Chris a little bit of busy work of anything that just has to be thrown out or destroyed, letting her break it and take it outside to add to the eventual burn pit. But do you try and get her to do anything that requires more precision, more care, more attention to detail?
I think I will try that once it seems like she's woken up a little bit after getting some of that aggression out on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does seem to help. There was a little bit of that Tears for Fear shouted out kind of attention to it where she just needed to get it out. And she's a little bit exhausted, but in a, okay, I can focus on reality for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get her to say like hold one thing while you cut it, or you hold it while she does that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
make it a little bit of a team effort.
He's going to try letting her cut. He'll hold something and be like, okay, just right down the middle, right there.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is after you already measured twice.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you He's probably like got like a pencil or something. He's like, just cut along the line.
Okay. Are you getting her to do any of that? Do you trust her to do the measurements or?
One thing at a time.
Oh, I see how it is. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you're able to do a few of these, test a few. You find that you have to adjust at some point. Like, okay, that wasn't quite right. You're having to shave off a little bit more. And it's that real reality of if a step is off by a fraction, you will have someone trip and have a whole bad day. So there is a certain amount of symmetry that needs to be followed. They all have to be very exact. But that's something you're competent at doing. It just takes a bit of time. I'd say this is the first 2 hours of your evening. You're able to get some of this done at some point. Both of you are going to get cleaned up and changed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's also going to send a text to the group chat that says, movie night at the house tomorrow. Any feature requests?
I think we'll do a bit of a round robin for that later tonight, if we get time. Because that sounds fun. While you send that off, do you get cleaned up in a particular way, or is it just a, track pants and a t-shirt, or what are we doing?
Yeah, it was nice enough to go to the house. So maybe jeans instead of track pants.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, jeans and a t-shirt.
Okay.
Just barely good enough.
Moderately adequate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Passing
she's
grade.
yeah. Her door's closed. It's open just like a hairline, and you can kind of hear that she is fussing with some outfits, trying to figure out what she's going to wear out with the girls tonight when they go to the drag show. And you can kind of hear her getting just a little more and more frustrated because you can tell she doesn't quite know what she's supposed to be wearing for something like this. And you've seen a lot of what she wears isn't like dresses or skirts. It's a lot of like denim and leather um, with like tank tops and stuff. And do you go knock on the door or do you kind of just let her spiral?
Um, he might just yell up, "See what Poppy thinks."
Okay, so we are going to just, because Cora would be the one driving, you are leaving Elysium. We're just going to jut over to you for just a moment. You do see the group text of the movie night tomorrow, but you get a more
Important message.
caps lock message of, I don't know what to wear tonight. Help. And it's spelled with an A.
Incredible. Poppy will send like she'll just text back, I'll direct message you, and she'll slide over and just text Chris and say, send me a picture of your closet.
Ooh. Okay. There's a moment where nothing comes through for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And Artem, you can hear her swearing just a little bit. When a picture does come through, it is very heavily cropped.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like she just emptied the contents onto a bed.
Great.
And again, you get that sense of more boots and jeans and leather. Nothing particularly like girly girl. It's more like girly tomboy.
Okay. Okay. Poppy will text, do you have a shirt you don't mind me cutting?
And she's going to point out some t-shirts where that already have like some styled wear and tear that she's fine with. Do what you got to do.
Amazing. Poppy will say, bring jeans that you feel really cute in, the boots with the studs, and we're going to cut up that shirt a little bit to show off your abs.
And Artem, being completely ignorant to all of this, she steps out with more or less what was said, just wearing a different t-shirt than the one that's going to get ripped up because she's going to allow Poppy to do that in person because she has a little backpack with some stuff in it.
Looking good. You ready?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, and she's going to send one more text to Poppy. Makeup help.
Say less, Queen.
Yeah, okay. Artem, in that time, you got a text. It's from Misha. It says, I'll be at the house tonight.
On my way now.
Okay. Two of you head on out. Is there anything you want to talk about, or it's just you've been working together for a couple of hours and you're just going to give each other a little bit of mental space?
I think for the most part, he'll just kind of give her space. If she wants to talk, great. If not, Artem is perfectly happy driving in silence.
It's mostly silent. Every now and again, it's her asking his thoughts about a movie.
Never seen it.
Yeah, I imagine it's a lot of that. But then she'll ask you about, some movies that you would like, and it's probably something she's never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's
Come on, that one has an English dub.
Yeah, or it's something so painfully mainstream, because that's one of those things that what's the word I'm looking for? Transcends languages, is when it's something very popular, like the Marvel movies or something like that. Just it gets seen in a lot of different countries, a lot of different languages. Where some of the art house movies only stays in the language it was made in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a few little bit of banter like that, but it's primarily quiet. I assume there's no drama from you at the gate. Okay. When you do park, she takes the backpack with her. And assuming no other attention is given, Bruno just gives you a little nod, waves you both in. By the time you got there, there's a few more cars, but it's still a fairly quiet night at Wormslow. You would see at this point you would see Poppy's car. You would not see Cora's. You would not see the Prince or Seneschal's trucks. You also do not see what you presume to be the sheriff's car.
Mm-hmm. Quiet night.
Mm-hmm. As you're passing through, well, hello there.
Sir Atherton, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking. And yourself?
Doing well.
She gives kind of a awkward little wave. She looks like she did some like base makeup, but more a case of making it easy for Poppy to do whatever magic she's going to do later. So she's almost feeling like I did not pull on my whole face and I'm at Elysium. So there's this little bit of like playing with the sort of more wild phrase of her hair.
She's also standing next to Artem, so
mm-hmm.
She's probably looking better than him at least.
Yeah. Yeah, but she cares about her appearance.
Well, that is a good point.
So, is there anything I can help you with this evening? Anything one you're looking for?
I'm going to speak with Misha later, but I don't think he's here yet. Where did you say that library was?
A library would be upstairs.
Okay.
Do you kind of separate from her, or do you try and drag her along?
No, I'll separate.
Okay.
I'll just give her a little nudge and say, let me know if you need anything.
Mm-hmm. And she lights up a little bit as she does see someone she recognizes, and you do see her walking over to Harlan.
Artem will give Harlan a nod too and walk up the stairs.
Hey. And they'll just sort of hang around in the main hall for a little bit. And is there anything you're looking to do in the library?
He is going to look for books on building things.
So you're looking for some like do it yourself kind of thing?
Some of that stuff, yeah.
Okay. You'd be hard pressed to find stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's more classic fiction, some nonfiction like biographies, histories.
Mm-hmm.
There are some interesting discussions of survival habits and means of times gone by.
He'll put a pin in that one if he can't find what he's looking for.
As for anything more modern, like you're trying to find a like, oh, this would be kind of fun. Only because in reality, this book was never actually published. It breached the memoir being passed around to various entities for editing and potential publishing, but it never actually saw the light of day. This looks like it was a non-mass produced copy of the memoirs of Mr. Wizard. Some of it are simple. These are my life. These are some little experiments I did on the show, but also basic little life hacks to do with science and even some amount of carpentry. Things that maybe you wouldn't expect.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the absence of anything more focused, that seems like something he'd maybe stop on.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of look at the title and says, "Who the hell is Mr. Wizard?" That's not the real name.
The real name of the person is escaping me off the top of my head, unfortunately, but it is written, and there is a little, just a quick bio blurb in talking about his time on both PBS and Nickelodeon in the early years, both as an educator and as someone who cared about the next generation, handing down some knowledge that people didn't learn every day.
I think he'll take that book. He'll find somewhere quiet, out of the way,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll start reading his wizard book.
I'd say at some point, if you wanted to, and you had the experience to do so, if you don't have it, you could very easily justify a dot in science.
Ooh.
You may want to write that down for yourself.
Have a dot in science. That's maybe got something to do with why this pulled towards him. Okay. I'll write that down.
Okay. And as you're leafing through it and finding a few things that you find interesting, skipping past maybe some of the biography stuff itself, you do get a text that says, "Docs."
Bye for now, Mr. Wizard. He will put the book back where he found it, and he'll head out to the docks. As he's getting out, he's kind of looking around. I assume we're at the docks because there aren't a lot of other people there.
Mm-hmm. You find one or two boats kind of bobbing around, moored on their lines. Not the exact same ones, not in the exact same place, but things to kind of expect to see.
Mhm.
And you do see Misha with a folded over blazer over one arm with his hands in his pockets and a white dress shirt with the sleeves actually rolled up to half forearm where you can see more of those tattoos scrawling across them.
Hmm.
He cranes his head over his shoulder and just nods for you to come over and join him as he's just enjoying the sight, the breeze, a little bit of moonlight, a little bit of stars, now that you face the exact opposite of where all the light pollution of the city would be coming from. It's mostly just marsh. A little bit of glittering light along the surface of the water as it ripples and shifts and eddies, but is otherwise very calm.
Not a bad night tonight.
We do like it calm. Do you prefer English or your mother tongue?
We'll do mother tongue.
You will transition into Russian, which you do find a few gaps. You do have some shared loan words, a few differences, but you're still able to communicate. So I had news for you.
Yeah.
I do not know exactly where she is, other than there has been news of her in that Georgia. Last I heard, she was fine at their docks. She arrived. I'm still finding out exactly where she went from there. But I have people on it at the moment. In lieu of that, I do have a small consolation prize. That should be here in a day or two.
Yeah. Oh, him.
I thought you might like to express the displeasure you had for his service.
What's allowed?
Everything up to not death. You're new, and you existed outside of our culture for some time. So I'll let you in on a little secret, because you and I share this particular problem. Do you know what the seventh tradition is?
I do not.
Don't get caught. So we could ask some very hard questions. And for every bad answer he gives, we take a piece off. He is presently staked. And should he be, well, best and forthright, I'll let you put the stake back in as many times as you like.
That sounds like good practice.
I thought you would enjoy that.
Is there anything specific you're trying to get out of him, or?
I want to know exactly why he thought it was a good idea to besmirch what we do.
Well, I can't imagine you'll get a very satisfactory answer, but I guess...
No, but his screams would satisfy the terms of what is expected of us. We run on discretion and carrying through on what is paid for. When one of us goes against that, well, it would create certain problems of perspective. You would agree? If we are viewed as unreliable, looks bad for all of us. So an example needs to be made. And he doesn't necessarily have to arrive back home all in the same package. Finger here, foot there, maybe an eyeball. If he's very lucky, I will leave his head attached.
I guess we'll see how he answers.
And he will step back very smoothly from Russian and into English. I take it we see eye to eye on our expectations of this little interaction.
I believe we do.
I regret that I cannot find her at this moment. But I will continue to put people on it. Understand that this is not directly a favor for you as much as it looks bad for all of us. So I wish to see a positive resolution to someone else's folly.
Well, favor to me or no, I do appreciate it. And I know we had discussed perhaps a favor from me for certain continued services. I'm not sure where the line is drawn.
This is something for both of us because of the professional courtesy. But if there's other things that needs consideration, we will discuss that further. As of now, everything that has been discussed is part of that professional courtesy. Up to and including parceling out of the particular problem.
I do wonder what I would be able to do for you.
What are your skills?
Mostly in construction.
Well, if not for me, I'm sure you could always find some work down at the docks. A lot of home renovation is required in a city that's so often hit by hurricanes and heavy storm.
Yeah. It's interesting being here with this skill set. I'm not used to how often the board seems to reset.
So, less than you would fear, more than you would expect.
I had spoken with Mr. Limehouse about the docks. Is that a shared domain between the two of you? How does that work?
We have an understanding. It's why you saw Bruce with us when we
Yes.
first met? He works there, but due to the nature of what I do, some things has to come through those docks. It's good to maintain professional relationships, you would understand.
Sure.
Speaking of which, I do have some things to get to. I'll consider your offer.
Well, I won't keep you. Thank you for keeping me up to date.
Yovik. And he walks away.
Sokolov.
Is it okay if we fade out on that with you contemplating on the dock?
Yeah, he's kind of looking out the night sky, wondering where the hell she got to.
And because I can't ignore the opportunity for a good Fievel reference, maybe somewhere out there, staring up at that same sky.
And she's mad.
Well, yeah. Mad and alone. We'll fade out on that little heartbreak for a moment. If that's okay, unless you want to add anything else. Cool. Poppy and Cora, you are mid-drive to whatever club you're going to. Poppy, you've sent a few texts. I'm assuming you've related some of this to Cora mid-drive.
Yes. I think we decided on 51 degrees, maybe?
Ah, okay. Maybe I
Yes,
didn't.
I'm gonna need you to point me in the right direction, because
Yeah.
What I actually have written for you is not 51
no.
degrees.
Oh no.
Don't worry, it's in the same area.
Great.
Because I looked that one up and it didn't do it.
Not the vibe.
You arrive in the area of Vice Lounge. In that same little area of nestled properly in the middle of town. A stone's throw from some of the historical garden parks that line the interior of the city. Through a haze tinged by rhythmically shifting lights, you waft into a nightclub with the glossy gaudiness of a lounge, the genre of music seemingly undulating between the two competing aesthetics that have been married here. Shiny floors bouncing the frenetic lights, the walls lined with cloistered banks of seating, all manner of little dark nooks and corners secret away for a little necking of your choice. What would you two like to do?
First I'll text Chris like as we're pulling up just to be like, hey, let me know when you're here. I'm gonna help you with your shirt and your makeup.
So you wouldn't be meeting Chris there.
Oh, she's gonna be at the drag show, not
Yeah.
here. Yes, my bad. Never mind. I would say, shall we go grab a drink?
of course, this is a pretty cool place.
Isn't it? It's kind of funky. I saw it online. I haven't been here yet.
All right, great, new for both of us.
Yeah.
You're my secret weapon tonight.
Yes, I will show you the ropes, Cora. Worry not. Worry not. What would you like to drink or to hold in your hand?
Let's get some kind of gin cocktail. That'd be nice.
Ooh, absolutely. I mean, it's technically a mojito bar. So if you wanted like mojito, you could do that too. It's up to you though.
Sure. You know what? Let's go with the flow.
Great. All right, I'll be right back. Find a cute spot for us to be. And Poppy will scurry off to the bar.
Okay. Now, as you two are sort of separating out, I need to know your individual missions in this exact moment. So you're gonna go try and find a little nook, or what's your plan, Cora?
I think that the little nooks are important, but we're probably going to want to be somewhere where we can be seen and also see everything fairly well to start. So if I guess maybe if there's maybe sort of an alcove that allows us to kind of scooch in if we need to, but is otherwise got some space where we can observe everything. If there's like a corner or if there's multiple floors, if we can look down on everything, that'd be kind of cool.
It is a single floor. It almost feels like a basement club because the ceiling is quite low. And all these little like seating alcoves line the walls, except for the
nice.
wall where there is the bathrooms and the wall where the bar is.
Okay. What about an edge of the bar that would allow either of us to excuse ourselves to an alcove easily if needed?
Yeah.
But a bar is a little more social, so we probably need that. So
Okay. So, Poppy, you're getting drinks.
Yes, but she is making a show of walking across to get drinks, like kind of taking a scan of the room, seeing who all's out here this evening.
Okay. Now, are you casing the joint or are you trying to put a signal out there? What's the intent?
I think she's gonna start with putting a signal out, being like, look at me. I'm here and I'm going to get some drinks. Who wants to buy me them? That kind of thing.
I'm new in the club. Who want me?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I'm going to have you do a roll each, Cora. I'm going to have you do perception and alertness. Now, here's the question. Do you have heightened senses activated right now?
Oh gosh. Well, if you give me the option.
You would be experiencing some sensory overload if you did that. I imagine if you had activated it, your first thought as you're coming down the stairs into the haze of the club with all the sound, all the lights, your first thought is to turn that toggle off.
Okay. I suppose then could I add to my check a little the like broadwave aspects that I've done, the aura perception before?
So we're doing something unrelated to that. We'll come back to that afterwards.
Sure, sounds good. Then I'll just do my standard alertness and perception.
So this is not for the people, this is for something else.
Okay.
And for Poppy, let's go with appearance. Because you're trying to like put that bait out there.
Mm-hmm.
And either expression or etiquette is how I think I'm gonna do this.
Okay. Ooh, I'll do etiquette. I got 4 dots in etiquette.
Wow.
We'll go with club etiquette. It's a very broad interpretation of that.
Yeah.
You know the signals that how to send them.
Yes.
Okay, so Cora, what'd you get?
Not great, not terrible. I got 2 successes.
You got 2? You are able to actually find one of those like little smaller alcoves with just a couple of seats in it.
Okay.
It kind of looks like it belongs more behind the beaded curtain of a strip club to a certain extent, where you're able to get some seating that no one is using at the moment, enough that has a bit of an eye of the club. You're not too hidden, and that way you can kind of just make eyes if you wanted. You could sort of pull someone into your orbit, and if you do, you have a way to sort of surreptitiously take a drink.
Cora sits and kind of adjusts herself, looking,
Mhm.
you know, a little like she's sort of getting used to things in this space. And goes, "Well, I hope this works."
Okay. Poppy, what'd you get?
5.
5 successes.
5 successes.
Okay. I'm going to let you decide who you bring back to your little alcove and how.
Yeah. I feel like as she's walking up to the bar, there's like some Chad who sees her and is like, "Oh," and he like kind of power walks up to the bar to try to buy her drink.
Yeah, we're in
Potentially.
a t-shirt that's 2 sizes too small.
Yeah. It's a lot, you know?
Mhm.
And
You don't get that sort of forewake of Axe body spray,
mhm,
but you feel like maybe he has done that, and there's still
mhm,
that echoes of it. That's how much he's used. It's happening in the here and now, despite him using it a year ago. Maybe
echoes of
someone finally
Axe.
talked him out of it, but it's not there anymore.
Incredible. Okay. Great. I will let him buy our drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll be like, "Hey, do you want to come over here and sit with us?" Over the music. That's why she's yelling.
I would say, based on the role, it's him and his friend.
Yeah. The more the merrier.
Because if the intent is defeat, you don't want to be both draining one person.
Totally.
But that's assuming that Cora even goes for this. Just
true.
because you have brought refreshments doesn't mean they're appetizing for her.
Very true.
So you get a little bit of these mid-20s dude bros.
Excellent.
They're not screaming manosphere or anything toxic like that. They're just mid-20s dude bros out having a good time, dressed kind of nice. In the sense of that's what it kind of mid-20s nice looks like. Everything looks clean, everything fits. You know, the t-shirts are a little small, but they look like they take pride in how they look.
Yes.
Everything's combed, everything is whatever shave that they do looks like it's spot on. If there's any facial hair there, it's intended, not just haphazardly done like mine is. So, as you pull these 2 boys into your clutches, I'm assuming you. Oh, this is my friend.
Yeah. What are your names?
Oh, I'm Dave, and that's Stuart.
Stuart. Okay, this is crazy, Stuart. Poppy's like putting it on a little bit for Stuart. My last name is literally Stuart.
No way.
It's just listen, I'm trying not to believe in like coincidences, but it's so good to meet you, Stuart.
And he starts taking more an immediate shine to you. Yeah. And that music choice. And Dave will sit down on the far too small couch with Cora, arm not around her, but just sort of like over the like the backing of the couch. Like, hey, how you doing?
Hey, Cora.
And
so, Poppy, you brought refreshments, I see, and the drinks too.
Yes, they were so nice. They bought them for us. Thank
I
you
think
so
she,
much, y'all.
I think she just called us tall drinks of water, man. Yeah, I know.
Oh, wait, I didn't even get that. That's crazy.
Mm. Mm.
Ugh.
So there's a bit of that dude bro energy kind of conversation going around. How do you try and make this a short interaction, or
Uh, yeah, I attempt to make this a short interaction by moving things toward a physical place with
Mm,
Stuart, as in just
mhm.
like I'll be like too touchy with him, like clearly like I want to lead this to a
Well, that
moment of
shirt is so
makeout so that I
small.
can. Your shirt is so tiny. Didn't your mom tell you to size up a little bit for these t-shirts? They're cotton, they shrink. And just like stuff like that, just silly trying to find excuses to like touch him and
Mm-hmm.
like move towards a makeout moment so that I can
Mm-hmm.
show Cora my style.
Now the question for Cora and for the player is
Hmm.
is this in a realm that you are comfortable with?
Cora's willing to give it a try. It's
Mm-hmm.
probably not going to go super well, but
I'll help you out.
okay.
He starts asking about the accent. He's doing a little bit of the well-intentioned but still feels gross. Oh, that accent is so exotic.
Okay, well, this is actually familiar because she's
Mm.
got this before.
Mhm.
Well, it's a bit of a mix. It's kind of a combination of German and Italian.
Oh, so you gotta give the tongues, huh?
Some people say that. What about you?
Oh, he's gonna do like sort of like these slow sort of draw across the jawline. Well, you tell me.
S- Your your accent, what part of the country is it from?
So I just want to put this out there. He was leaning in for the kiss, and you're clearly sort of like nope, no, no, no. Let's keep this casual friend. I just want to know if that's what you're doing.
Yeah, she's just oblivious.
Okay. And he's um like he's like hard rebooting for a second. It's like that should have worked. Why did sorry, what?
Your accent is interesting to me too.
Oh. Would you like to get better acquainted with it?
I could.
And because he doesn't know any other move, he's doing that same trail, same line along the draw, trying to just get you to meet him halfway and
Yeah,
trying
we'll
to see
try
if that
again.
doesn't work.
Can there be like a jump cut to like this man is like on Poppy's neck, just
Absolutely. Yeah. Cora
I
will
would
see.
say, I will say this. The minimal amount of touching that's going on, even just that little like fingertippiness and the proximity and the heat, and you feel that clench
Mhm.
in the gut of the hunger pangs.
Yeah. All right then. She'll draw herself closer since, let him do the guy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then go ahead, do the kiss, go for the bottom lip because I think that's sexy, and then like sort of give it a little bite.
So here's a question. Is this just sort of like the mundane nibble, or are you trying to feed through the lip?
Oh my God, I didn't even consider that. I don't know if Cora's that hungry, but
Or that
she's
inventive yet.
or that inventive yet. So just the standard kiss right now.
Okay.
But if it does like happen to cut, then
Mhm.
maybe just as a,
I'd say that would have to
accidental.
be intent because you'd have to
Okay,
take
then
out the
no.
fangs and then go for it. But
Then no.
okay. So to get through all of that, do you two go for the bite?
Mhm.
Okay. Cora?
Yeah.
Okay. How much do you take?
Uh,
Two's going to leave them kind of just in a like nice. Three's gonna like leave them in a little. Oh, they're just taking a little drunk disco nap. That's fine. Like they're gonna be unconscious.
mm.
So how much you taking?
I'm gonna do 2 since I'm in a teaching mode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a really good teacher.
Cora's
Does she say
going.
that to him? Is that where that's going?
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Listen, maybe. Who's to say? I'm gonna ditch this guy as soon as I can.
Mm.
Cora takes 2 as well, knowing
Mhm.
that she is a little bit hungry and probably needs another snack later.
Mhm.
So she doesn't want to have to babysit.
Now here's the thought. If they're just left in this little alcove that nobody's really paying attention to, they could just be babysitting each other whenever they happen to awake.
Oh, don't appeal to Cora's desire to
Cora's are
push how much she
yours.
can drink from somebody.
Cora's
Look,
are yours.
she likes to test limits.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Your little
So
peril
this is
kink, got
Cora.
it.
I feed 3 dots all the time. It's fine.
It's fine.
Remember her list of terrible things she's done in DC. That's she's
So
had a few Stuarts and Daves in her time.
you've persuaded me to be aggressive. I would like to take 3.
Okay. Has that changed Poppy's math?
Perhaps when she sees Cora's guy pass out.
Poppy's like, oh, that's
Hold on.
wild.
Hold
Sure.
on, you're a little asymmetrical.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Poppy will go on to the other side. Just be
Mhm.
like, you like that, big boy? And then, good night. Stuart.
I imagine she
Stuart
actually said that.
Little. Sorry. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
She's just an ounce away from spiking the ball on the play at this point.
Cora's then gonna turn to Poppy and put her arms on the table and go, okay, so a bit of a false start, but we got
Yeah.
there.
I gotta pee. Do you want to come with?
Yeah.
Poppy will wink. Hopefully she knows. Hopefully this is not
I mean,
disgusting.
she wasn't cluing into an earlier code.
Right.
Maybe this one will work.
Yeah.
Does Cora
Yeah.
follow suit?
Yes, we're good.
Okay.
She knows that one.
Yeah.
Is the intent to filter out of the bar entirely or just to go, away from the scene of the crime?
Yeah, just to ditch them.
Okay.
Because they're loopy and clearly need a nap.
They weren't enough man for us, clearly. Tra la 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 la.
Mm.
Okay. I think it's a good moment to sort of pan out from that little excursion. We can process that later if we have time. I do want to try and get to Kate. As you, I'm assuming, drive on down.
I'm going to change my shoes first because as powerful it is to be a tall woman in heels, I'm not getting my heels stuck in the mud trying to face some brouhaha.
Okay. I view this as the equivalent of when you are expecting a construction site as a non-construction worker, your shoes not only have to be steel-toed, They have to be mucky. Because they will give you shit if you're wearing clean boots. Because you don't know what you're talking about.
Look, they're gonna give me shit anyways because of who I am. This is just about to be a part of it.
Fair. So, you drive on down in your Cadillac, get off the road to well, you were a teenager and college girl at one point. I'm sure you went to a few uh, parties in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
So you find the haphazard array of motorcycles, a couple of pickup trucks.
I haven't met many Bruja. Do I recognize? I think Jolene would probably be the only one I recognize here. Do I spot her?
Mm, I'm trying to think of other Brewhod that you may have met, and I can't think of any that's top of my head, unless Limehouse was pointed out to you.
Maybe, and then
Bruce, maybe.
I just met
Bruce
her
and
last week.
Havel.
Not Havel. I'm thinking of where are they? Thatch. I can remember her nickname.
Thatch.
I feel like this is maybe not her vibe, but I could be surprised.
You don't see Thatch. You don't see Havel. You don't see Bruce. You don't see Limehouse, even if you did know him.
They have jobs.
Pretty much, yeah.
Don't give me that face, Sam.
They got supernatural mortgages to pay. They got shit to do. So, you do see the little fires, a stereotypical drum fire, like overturned like garbage can kind of thing. You have like the central small controlled bonfire. You see a few kind of carousing around some of it, laughing, shoving, playing music. If you are paying attention, you would see a couple paying attention to the bridge, and then one turns around and sees you. And he just turns and taps the shoulder, or rather the back of the arm of someone who turns around with blonde, pulled back tight hair into this slicked coif.
Hi, Jolene.
What's Baby Blue doing here?
I'm here on behalf of Redgrave.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And she's gonna start walking towards you with her hands in her the pocket of her jacket. Clearly not taking you seriously. A couple of her people form around her, but the main thrust of the party is still going on. You notice the person that would be paying attention to the bridge coming from the Carolina side is keeping their eyes on that. And what does Redgrave want?
I'm here on her behalf, just checking in, seeing how things are going. Anything interesting happening tonight?
Oh no, I think this is pretty interesting.
And giving a warning, a heads up.
Oh, really?
Yes. There was a mudman on Skidaway last night.
You do see a little bit of that bravado. Not retreat, but refocus.
Maybe don't just keep your eyes peeled on the bridge. Keep them peeled to the woods, too.
How many?
Just one. For now.
Anyone die?
Not this time. Got its arm ripped off by a couple of gangrel.
No shit. Which ones?
Chris and Artem, the new one.
Oh shit, new kid's got moves.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that fun? What about you, new kid?
What about me?
You got any moves?
Couple.
No. Does she now? Hey. She's going to snap her fingers at one of her manpanions in her orbit. All right, Bobby Drake, come here. She's going to stand behind him, hands on his shoulder. Give her a run for her money.
What's he doing?
He's sort of rolling his shoulders like he's going to start walking up to you.
Oh, okay. Let me read something really fast.
Okay. What are you planning to do?
I'm checking something real quick.
Okay.
See what the stats are on her pistol.
Okay. I want to let him get pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And as he gets close, like within like hitting range, not that I think he could do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to roll for awe.
That's what I thought you would do. So, what's the mechanics on that?
It is, I have to spend a blood. Let me erase that. Thanks for that, Barry. I appreciate it. I have to roll charisma plus performance, difficulty 7. And I finally have performance now. Thanks, Lash. Okay. And then there's a chart to see how many successes there are.
So here's the thing. Are you trying to just get him, or are you trying to get a little bit of her retinue that has started to coalesce?
Hold on, let me reroll because that is a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's only one success, so it only covers him because it's based on rolls, how many people I can get.
Let me just reread that very, very quickly.
He can spend willpower to overcome it, but has to keep using willpower for every scene as long as we stay in the same area. But he'd be able to shake it off with 1 because I only rolled 1 success.
So what is the desired outcome here?
I want him to get really friendly to me. Like we're old pals. Especially if he's following Jolene's orders. I want him to become very amiable to me.
That more hostile locomotion turns to something a little smoother. And he's like, not unlike the boys in the bar, there's a little bit like, how you doing, Blue?
It's Fulton.
Fulton. What's your first name?
You'll have to find out later.
We can find out now.
Maybe try to keep your wits about you first. Can he tell that I've used that on him?
He might not be conscious of it at the moment.
Okay. But maybe some of the others would pick up on that something happened.
You do hear a couple of snickers happens. Like, hey, Bobby. The fuck?
Hey, Bobby.
Jolene does start laughing at him a little bit. Fuck off. And he just starts wandering off into the woods.
Keep an eye out, Bobby.
And he looks like he's about to say something, and you realize that that was influenced by what you've done to him. And he's just going to tamp that down and walk away. And you do hear something break in the distance. That sounds a little, maybe like a tree coming down. Well, look at that. She got moves after all.
Told you.
I mean, it was just Bobby.
It's a start.
What else you got?
What else do you want to know?
Well, I want to know what this little representative of Redgrave, I want to know what she does. I don't want to know why we should be paying attention to you at all.
All right, there's a high chance this won't work on her.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're showing off, let's try it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm assuming this is dominate.
Yep, I'm just going to use command.
You're going to send me very quickly on Discord your generation.
Okay. Let me find you. You are.
Okay. All right, go for it.
Okay, I have to roll manipulation, intimidation, which is these plus 2 more. And my DC is whatever her willpower points are.
We're going to put that at a 6.
Okay.
Actually, no, that's going to be a 7.
Okay. That is just 1 because we bumped it up to a 7.
Okay. What are you trying to get her to do? Now, there are a lot of rules to how this works. Even if you rolled something, it's still beholden to
it's
what
one
is feasible.
word command, which she must obey instantly. I'm going to be bitchy. I'm going to say sit.
Interesting. So you got her mid-stride as she's trying to walk around you, like she's trying to like sort of peacock a little bit. And you do see that little snarl of recognition would be the only way to put it. Do you put it into a sentence, or are you just saying just sit, full stop?
No, I'm just going to say sit. She asked me to show off.
And she's passing by a motorcycle. And she grins as she sits down on the seat sideways, just facing you with her hands in her pockets. She looks at her friends. You really think that was going to work?
You did what I said. I mean, props for finding a way around the obvious on the ground.
And she's going to get up off the bike.
What is it? The spirit of the law as opposed to the letter?
So you got a couple of tricks. What's stopping me from beating you half to death with that fucking motorcycle?
Lucky for me right now, that big hotel right up there. And the one who sits at the top and lets you have your little bonfires and your little parties out here.
I said I couldn't send you back to her a little rough for wear.
Because you would be a little rougher wear too.
Are you sure about that?
I am.
How sure?
Positive.
Out of character. Does Kate have fortitude?
Not yet. Working on it.
Okay.
But we're playing chicken, and I will accept my consequences. I feel like the best way to get accepted with the brouhaha is to just be punched in the face and just take it. What happens will happen.
Not a bad thought.
Again, I accept the consequences of playing chicken with Jolene.
She got 3 successes as she rushes forward to right hook you right in the cheekbone.
Do I have enough time to try dominate one more time?
Mm.
Well,
It's
no, it's
very
that fight where it's
yeah,
against what they want to
in the
do.
middle of the fight, it's very contrary and it's
Yeah.
very fast, and she's not making as much eye contact as she was before. She's
You're
looking about where
right,
she
you're
wants to
right.
do. So what I will have you do
Mhm.
is, instead of being able to soak the roll, because you really can't at this point,
Mhm. Mhm.
is I'm gonna have you do athletics
Okay.
and whatever physical that you think will help you here. Are you trying to turn
Ooh.
into it, to go with it? Are you trying to stand against it?
Have more stamina than Dex, actually, but I have no athletics.
Okay. So
Could I
you can do two things here.
do alertness instead? Is
No,
alertness
because
this kind of thing, or would that be more awareness?
this is the impact's already happened.
Oh, okay.
This is how you are dealing with that impact.
Gotcha.
So you can do two things here.
Uh-huh.
You can spend blood to help with your physicals, and or spend a willpower, depending on what you're trying to do.
Let me spend a willpower, so at least I
Okay.
have one success. Thank you, Artem. Okay, remind me, it's 7 if I don't have the second stat.
Yes.
Okay.
So did you spend blood?
I did not spend blood.
Do you want to do that?
What will that do?
You could be increasing whichever physical that you were trying to use.
So give me one more dice.
Or if you are actually, we're not going to get into the minutia of that roll because that's a little more complicated. So we're just going to worry about you getting one. Which one are you doing?
I'll spend willpower.
Okay.
Which is one success.
So you're going to do the one success. Or are you spending your blood to up that at all?
I have, because I've already rolled, I'm just going to stick with willpower because I don't want to have that extra die be a 1 and take away my one success since I've already rolled and I've already.
So you got one success
from the willpower.
So it does not take away from that.
Okay.
I was trying to get you to do that before you rolled anyway.
Sorry. If that will not take away the willpower one, I will. Okay.
So
this was a good life choice because that's a 10.
Okay.
So 2 successes now.
Okay. Did you re-roll the 10?
I did. It was not.
Oh, it doesn't matter because you got a 1. It doesn't really
No,
matter.
no. I was worried I had gotten a 1.
So you got 2 successes. You stagger because she got 3, but you're not knocked on your ass. Considering how hard you have seen some Bruja try to hit, you have seen how hard one tried to hit. You are not the bulwark that the prince is. You don't even have access to fortitude at the moment. You're not knocked off your feet. You don't clear ground. But like has been going on since the beginning of kindred recorded time, a Ventrue and a Bruja always come down to trading hands. But what is always up to the individuals is if throwing fists, standing up and standing your ground. You may not like the person, but maybe you can find some modicum of respect. You showed your hand earlier. In a way, you popped her one across the cheek as well. Turnabout is fair play. And as you stagger but do not fall, you only take a step or two back. You know that's going to be hurting until you spend the blood to correct it. You feel like the zygomatic is slightly out of where it should be. If you were human, you'd be sporting a black eye for the next few weeks. Well, shit. I thought you were gonna hit the ground like a sack of bricks.
You feel better now?
Hmm. For now. You good?
Why did I almost say Crystal? That's clear, not good.
Well, that's what
Solid.
happens when you get your bell rung that way, so that's fine.
Yeah,
What were you gonna say?
I'm solid.
I'll say. Not bad, Blue. Maybe come hang out with us a little more often. Maybe we can actually teach you how to take a hit and throw one.
Havel's working on it. She beat you to the punch.
Uh-huh. Tell her I said hi.
Will do.
Right, fucking beat it, Blue.
Hey, Jolene. Fuck off. And I'll turn and head back to my car.
You hear another crack of wood.
What did the poor trees ever do to them?
As not coming from her, but that poor Bobby that you broke.
Bobby is so mad he's turned on right now.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those confusing. I have the most confusing erections right now, and I don't know what to do with it. And as you drive away with your smaller and maybe perhaps moral victory in a couple of places, the sting on your cheek becomes less dull, but ebbs off as you head back towards Redgrave. And I think that's a good place to leave it for tonight. Do we have time to do just a very quick round the table? We're going to start with Fulton, just to make this easy. You've had a busy couple of nights. Let's try and condense at least a few feelings.
Okay. Lash was the night before.
Mm-hmm.
There was something I had written down several weeks ago at this point. She told Ellie that everyone called her a bitch, but that's not entirely true now. And that is new for Kate with these new friendships and these relationships that are developing. Yeah, that little taste at Lashes was nice, but again, that is such a small fraction of what she knows Lash does. And Redgrave was intense, but she wouldn't have expected anything less. And it felt good to be able to answer like that. And even getting into a bit of a dick measuring contest with Jolene felt more right than any of her previous internships so far.
Well, let's see how that carries forward, shall we? Is it okay if I move on?
Mm-hmm.
Poppy.
Oh.
Oh.
Kate will text Artem, The West Wing, JK, Olympus has fallen.
Okay. Poppy.
Poppy is she was definitely shaken by being scolded by Lore, and was already trying to like collect herself for a fun night out to not think about her responsibilities, and then to have them just displayed in front of her even though she wasn't even freaking there was such a bummer. But being with Cora, I think, is an incredible distraction for her. She likes being the like teacher of this weird art form when it comes to the way that she feeds. Yeah, and she's already come up with she's gonna make a note to order the paint that she thinks Clarice would like It's this metallic, incredible watercolor paint that Helena actually wants in real life. Yeah. And then she'll text Artem, pretty in pink, and send a ducky gif.
I don't get it.
It's okay. It's a really good movie, I promise.
Cora. Sorry, is that everything, or is there anything more?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, thank you. Cora.
Well, Cora has been out of her element 2 nights in a row. Well, and well, hopefully she'll figure it out one way or another. But I think that she came away from the conversation with the crew and the prince and the conversation with Grace, both feeling fairly good about the way she handled things. Though I, as the player, suspect that she may have raised a bit of a flare in the eyes of Grace over herself with all of the problems that she admitted to having. But yeah. Well, I guess we'll see how things continue. She likes spending time with Poppy, whether or not she ends up taking to her style of eating.
Do you send Artem a movie choice?
No, not right now.
No, not Amelie.
Not Good Burger.
It's not,
Not
good,
Good
Bert.
Burger.
Okay. Artem.
Well, his broodmate, his friend, has been on his mind, but he's sort of had to push it down so that he could focus on settling in here. Best thing to do is to make sure that, you know, if she is found, she's got somewhere to go. But this is the first he's heard of her in a long time, and he's, I don't know, he's thinking a little bit more about how fucked this whole situation is. Not sure what he's going to do next, but that's what's on his mind.
Yeah. How's he feeling about the Mudman?
Pretty good. He thinks he handled that situation fairly well. He hopes it doesn't get out too much that he was the one who ripped out the arm. But
Disarmed him.
yeah.
I mean, it has been going around apparently.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Now some Bruja know.
Well, he doesn't know that they know, so that's okay.
Later that night. Is it okay if I move on? Yeah. Ellie. You've had an interesting couple of nights.
Yeah. So Ellie does have a job, but Ellie cannot resist a good mystery, and if there's a reward in it, even better. So this focus on the Mudmen has really kind of sparked a little drive that hasn't been in Ellie in a little bit. To the point where their Primogen had to remind them not to just because you have a plan doesn't mean you just go full force to it. So there might be some reining in that has to happen on that front. But the other element is finding a strange connection with the most terrifying being that has ever existed in Savannah, Georgia. And that is, of course, Alice. And finding a weird camaraderie in a lonely child that brings Ellie back to a long time ago. And makes Ellie want to give that child maybe some of the companionship that she never had. And also being reminded that this is not a normal child. This is a normal child that can throw things 30 feet in the air like it was nothing. So
closer to 50, but yeah.
Closer to 50. So, like, also getting reminded of that every now and again. I don't send Artem what my movie choice is because I'm not part of the group text, so...
Working as intended.
If there's nothing else, a reminder that we are not on next week or the week after that. We will be back in... What's the math on that?
We will be back on
the
20th?
13th. Is it? Oh, right, the 20th.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
30th.
Yeah.
Boo,
20th of August.
20th of August. But technically, from my point of view, we have crossed into officially being on for a year.
Yay!
Thank you all for joining us, for indulging in my bizarre range of nonsense, both for my players and for the people who have been watching and have discovered it along the way. Thank you so much. Perhaps if we play for another year, we'll get into another week of play. So
a week per
take care,
year.
everyone. See you in a few weeks.